Good afternoon, guys. It's good to see you. So, I'm about to get on a Google Meet with all of you in just a couple of minutes. But in the meantime, I wanted to make a quick video just going over the instructions for the week and um, the reading. I'm going to do the reading separately because I tried to upload the video to YouTube, but it didn't work because you can only upload 15 minutes once you get approved, and I was not approved. So I'm going to split it up. I'm going to do the instructions in one video, and I'm going to do the audio of the reading on another video. So this video is only about the instructions for the week. Give me 1 second to present my screen. And all right. So the first thing that we need to do is I'm going to go straight from your Gmail. I'm going to take you guys all the way through what you need to do. So first I got Google Classroom. Opening that up, you will find my class. So from here, I know that a couple of you guys, thank you to everyone that answered the questions in the survey. I know that a lot of you were asking, Mr. Smith, I appreciate when you put all the work on Monday, so I'm going to do that instead. Some of you did vote for the day by day, but all I can suggest is that maybe I can do some daily suggestions. I'm not going to try to upload something to Classroom every single day, but at the very least, if you want to do all of your work in one sitting, it will always be up there by Monday afternoon. Remember that you'll have how many? Two assignments every single week. And the first one will always be due Wednesday, and the second one will always be due on Friday, as long as we are doing distance learning. So currently at the recording of this video, we are scheduled to come back at the end or at the beginning of May. So hopefully that happens, knock on wood. But in the meantime, instead of checking through the stream like you always do, I'm going to suggest you go to classwork. So I know that a lot of you guys have been asking, where do I turn my stuff in? Just make sure that you're turning it in from this week on. So from week 2 and week 3, these are where we're going to start taking grades. Everything from week 1 was not a grade. Everything from before that will be a grade if you got a good grade on it. That means if you got over a 70, it will be counted in the grade book. If it's not or it's missing, it will not count against you. So one more time, if you have not yet done the research paper or the annotated bibliography, it is not going to count against you if you have not started it yet. Just move on to distance learning week 2, week 3, and eventually week 4 when we get there. But we're in distance learning week 3. What are the instructions? First thing you'll do is you open up the one that says distance learning week 3 instructions. So let's go through that really quick. So English 4, week 3 distance learning. Over the course of this week, we have 2 things we're going to turn in. One is the week 3 assessment number 1, which is an evaluation question. The other one is week 3 assessment 2, which is a short answer response. The learning objectives for this week is we will read The Use of Force by William Carlos Williams to determine how the narrator's conflicts are a result of the historical and social context of 1930s in America. And then we will write a response to The Use of Force by William Carlos Williams that explores how the social and historical context of the setting of the story influences the doctor's conflicts and moral dilemma. So first and foremost, we have a warm-up. Now, some of you may have read this book already. It was a very popular book. It even got made into a movie later. It's called My Sister's Keeper. So ask yourself this: how would you feel if you knew that the only reason why you were born was to donate stem cells to help your sick older brother or sister? So kind of being born just to help your brother or sister. Now, of course, it's great to help out your brother or sister, but how would you feel if you were just born for that specific reason? Take a moment to kind of think about that. Okay. So the warm-up is you're going to read the excerpt from My Sister's Keeper. It's only a page, so don't spend too much time on it. And then if you'd like to, there is a couple of questions. After reading the excerpt, do you think it's right to bring a child into this world who is designed to medically help a sibling? Or has the technology of today's medicine gone too far? Do you think it is morally acceptable to ask someone that was born, hey, your brother or sister is going to die unless you donate these things? To kind of help you a little bit, there is a video clip. I'm not going to play it on the video, but you can always go back through this on Google Classroom and watch it for yourself. And then there's some questions that kind of prompt your thinking. Some of you did reach out to me asking, hey, do we have to answer the questions on the slideshow? You do not, but if you want to keep your notes or your notebook, feel free to answer the questions on a separate sheet of paper or Google Doc, whatever is going to help you better understand what we're doing. All right. So now that we've watched the clip, now that we've done our warm up, it's time to actually look at the story, The Use of Force by William Carlos Williams. So there's a couple things that you guys need to know. One, it takes place in the 1930s. When does it take place? Okay, so the 1930s in America. Now there was a huge disease, how topical, that was ravaging this time period. It's called diphtheria. So diphtheria was a bacterial infection that killed many, many, many people in the 1930s in America. And um, one of the symptoms of it was gray mucus in the back of your throat. And so that's what the story is kind of talking about. It's talking about this doctor that is visiting a patient at home. So you'll kind of look at the picture there. But what I'm going to do is you're going to pause the video now, and then you can start reading the story. Okay, so you should have read the story. So let's move on. There's some background information that'll kind of help you. Now that you've finished reading the story, skim the story again and think about this question. How do the events happening outside of the house shape what is happening inside of the house? So what's happening outside not relating to these characters? And why does that cause the characters in the story to react the way that they do? Hopefully that makes sense. So we're going to move on to week 3, assessment 1. So you're going to complete this on Google Classroom. Where is it? I mean, everything's on Google Classroom, but of course you get the idea. So the evaluation question, do you think the parents deserve the doctor's disgust during this ordeal? So the doctor is not in a very good mood because of how the parents are acting. Do you think that that is deserved? Yes or no? And you'll write your response on Google Classroom. This is not a short answer, but I do expect you guys to answer in complete sentences. And I also expect you to explain why you believe what you believe. Nod your heads, you're with me so far. Cool. All right. That being said, let's move on to the next thing we'll do. So first off, week 3, assessment 1 looks like this. You are going to put your answer right here. I know that a lot of you asked, well, where do we put our answer? Don't put it down here. Just put it up here. Okay. This is the rubric where we actually start putting the grades in. But yeah, you'll put your answer right here. So you can just start typing right under there. Now, week 3, assessment 2 is going to be due on Friday. Now, this one is a short answer response. So let's take a moment to look at the question. In The Use of Force, the doctor is very honest about his feelings during his struggle with the little girl. Considering the social and historical setting of the story, do you think the doctor did the right thing? Use text evidence and analysis to support your answer. So this is asking you if, based on everything that we know about the 1930s and your own personal research if you would like to, as a reminder, there is some background context on the actual reading that'll kind of help you understand what was happening at the time, but you are more than welcome to, in your own free time, look up more about the situation. But diphtheria was a very, very destructive sickness that was happening in America during the time of this writing. And so this doctor is very frustrated, but he also wants to help her because she is a doctor. So considering the social and historical settings of the story, do you think he did the right thing? So you can either support it or not support it. And there's even, in a couple slides, there's going to be a one that shows you, gives you basically sentence stems for how to start, but this is what the other assessment looks like. So there's 2 criteria that we're going to be grading you on. So feel free to look at both of these. We want to look at your development of your ideas, and we also want to make sure that it makes any complex inferences, which, as we established, was an educated guess. So after you make sure that you read the story and you really understand it, develop your ideas and draw some inferences based on what you know about the background information. So this is here to help you with the pre-writing. Are the doctor's attitude and actions justified? Yes. If so, you'll look at the ones on this side. And if no, you'll look at the actions on this side. And that is it for this week. But there are a couple of things I want you guys to know before we get through this video. Complete assessment 1 by Wednesday, complete assessment 2 by Friday. Same as always. You can still submit week 2 work without late penalty. Guys, please don't stress about late points, but it is going to be more beneficial to you if you get the work turned in on time, so that way you do not fall behind. So make sure that you're getting this done. I know that a lot of you guys have said that you would benefit from having Zoom or Google Meet meetings in the early afternoon or the late morning. So I'm going to try that and see if any of you tune in. So if you do, great. If not, no big deal. But I know that a lot of you said, if I need help, I'll reach out. So I'm glad that you guys have been making the most of this situation for how nerve-wracking it is. But keep an eye out for grades coming back on Google Classroom for week 2 and on. So we cannot grade anything from week 1. Some of your essays on the memories were beautiful, and I would love to give you a grade on it, but because of the district guidelines, they do not want us to be grading those essays. But they were wonderful, and I really appreciate all of the hard work that you guys put into them. But everything from week 2 on, that means everything from last week and this week, will be counted as grades. We have also been locked out of our grade book for the time being. So we'll be giving you grades through Google Classroom, but they won't be in the actual, like, hack or your actual grade book until later. Once we get that word that we can, then of course we will. I think that pretty much covers everything. So just as a quick recap, in a minute, you will take some time this week to read through The Use of Force by William Carlos Williams, and you'll answer both of these assessments. One of them is not a short answer. That one's due by Wednesday. Just make sure you answer the question and prove why you think that or why you don't think that. And then the second assessment will be a short answer response. So remember to actually make sure that you write a well-developed paragraph. It should be about 4 to 5 sentences, more or less. If you need any help, I did post a slideshow on how to do it properly. I think it was just one Google slide, but it is there in Google Classroom, and I will repost it once we get closer to the end of the week, just in case some of you need some extra help. As always, though, remember that you can find me through Google Hangouts or on Gmail. Thanks to everyone that has been responding so far. It's been really, really good. I think that might be everything. Missed you, and I hope to see you soon. And yeah. Now, do you understand what we're doing today? Raising us any questions about what we're doing today? Raise your hands for any questions in general. Motivated, downright dedicated. You check me out. You check me out. Huh, I have to do that because my wife is on a conference call in another room. But in your own social distancing voices, are you motivated? Excellent. All right, guys, have a good week. I'll see you later.